Rod McKenzie's from the Road Haulage Association. He's with me now. Morning, Rod.
Good morning, Mark.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Do you think this is going to have any impact on your business?
Yeah, I think it's very worrying, actually. Obviously, we need to see some more detail about this points system. But the difficulty is if you're a doctor or a scientist or teacher or whatever, you'll get over the points threshold very easily, and that's great. But we need lorry drivers from abroad and other people in our logistics industry. 95% of everything we have in Britain comes on the back of a lorry. We need people to drive them. Did you know that around 60% of the lorry drivers you see going past you on Britain's roads are actually European, even if they're working for UK companies? Because it's a job that lots of Brits don't want to do. And therefore, if we cut off that key, the government might describe them as low-skilled. I wouldn't. But if we cut off that key channel of employment, we could end up not getting the stuff we need in our homes and offices.
I walk past a recruitment agency quite often and see adverts there for HGV drivers, so there is still a shortage in this country.
It's pretty critical, actually. 60,000 HGV drivers we are short in this country. Average age of a driver is now around 55, and only 1% under 25. So we're not getting enough young drivers. One of the reasons for that, it costs roughly £5,000 to train to be a lorry driver, and the apprenticeship levy, which was supposed to help in that sort of regard, isn't doing the job because we're not seen as in that way by the government, which is a shame. So we're being hit with a double whammy. We're not getting money to train new drivers. We need it. And we're also being told you can't have immigrants to fill gaps in staff rotas.
Perhaps this will mean that those businesses in the road haulage industry perhaps need to make the jobs more attractive to people, perhaps pay a bit more or have some extra benefits rather than relying, as the government says, on so-called cheap European labour.
Yes, well, it's a good point, and I think there isn't an employer in our industry who isn't looking at pay at the moment. But the difficulty is this is a sector which only makes roughly 1 to 2% margin. So their profit margin is 1 to 2%. Now, simple economics will tell you that you can't, therefore, pay lots more money to people without going bust.
Rod, thank you very much. Rod McKenzie from the Road Haulage Association. So these low-skilled migrant workers won't be able to get a visa under these government plans for this points-based immigration system. The government says employers must stop relying on so-called cheap labour from Europe.